Go.
Hello, Mr. Groves. How are you today?
Good morning, brother. It is so good to wake up and be here with you, man.
Well, I gotta be honest with you. It is a true honor to have you on NCI and to have you as a member of NCI.
Thank you, sir. I was honored to be asked, and I will be there with you.
Now, anytime you need one of us, all you got to do is say the word. We're there
Thank
for
you.
you.
I'm honored. I've
But-
followed you guys for a while now.
Well, we got a bunch of fans out there who'd really love to know a lot about you. So if you just,
Okay.
I'm gonna let you loose. Let's say tell whatever you want to tell.
Okay. Wow, man. I feel inadequate to even speak because I'm around all you guys here today, and you've done some pretty magnificent findings and out in the woods with you guys, and I mean that. Well, most folks know me. They call me Uncle Bubba, but my name is Martin Groves, and I guess what was unique that got me into this, to the status of what you guys do as well, is getting out in the woods and discovering and taking a look for the big hairy guy. We're here in Land Between the Lakes. In 1993, I had a significant incident that took place, and I never thought anything about Bigfoot, or I never thought anything about any creatures out in the woods. I mean, Land Between the Lakes was our home. It was where we come to fish. It was where we come and got our deer, and we pick up walnuts, hickory nuts. We come for the persimmon. We come for the elderberry that grew in the woods. And my great grandmother was, well, she had Indian ancestry, and so she knew about all these different things that she could make that would make us well. So I mean, this was our medicine shop. It was our food, and we would even bring parts of trees and stuff that had fell and make stuff out of it.
See, I love hearing
And
stuff
so
like
we love this, and the biggest thing we make from the cedar trees, we make our slingshots, you know, and so the types of things that kids usually don't think of today to play with, and but this was just the greatest place there was, and so in 1993 when we came in, we were turkey hunting, and we run across some hairy individuals that was not supposed to exist. You know, they just did not exist, and they were not on my radar. And I think we all grew up seeing the great man Charles Pierce and his movie at the drive-in. You know, The Legend of Boggy Creek.
Yep.
We saw Roger Patterson and Mr. Bob Gilmore, and God bless Mr. Patterson's soul. He's moved on, but and Mr. Pierce has passed away as well. But Bob is still with us, and we had seen all this. It didn't affect me because, you know, I thought, you know, that happened out there hundreds of miles away from me. There wasn't no hairy thing in the woods. But in fact, in 1993 when we came in, we ran across Bigfoot and Dogman, and I didn't even know the names of what a Dogman was. We saw Lon Shady grown up with him, werewolf.
Yep, there you go.
But what I saw here was not Harry and the Hendersons, you know, the real friendly guy that's smiling, sitting, you know, overgrown on a sofa.
Yep.
And the Bigfoot that I had seen here were very hideous looking and extremely unfriendly at that moment. And then I've had the opposite of the spectrum and run across what I call friendly Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But this park holds so much, and well, for this morning we were discussing everything from the bones that have been found in Rushing Creek right next to where my incident in my camp took place, and we also were discussing the Cherokee Lake monster that is responsible for many deaths of Kentuckian and Tennesseans in the 1800s, and then in the early 1900s. And then we have an individual here that had actually run over something that may in fact have been the Cherokee Lake monster. And you know, and we have Mark Roberts here, and Mike Smith and all of you guys here that have something to contribute to the stories of Land Between the Lakes. And I say stories, but I mean real, true life incidents.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, when we went to your site last night, that was exciting.
Yes.
I know it was corrupted when we got there because of the other vehicle, but to be over there and to hear that thing paralleling us in the woods,
yeah,
I just wish we'd got to see it.
Well, not only did you guys hear it and knew something was in there, one or two of the guys using their equipment actually spotted something moving through the woods, but it coincides with the story. That same road that runs the side of Russian Creek, it connects all the way, it went all the way to Model, Tennessee, the little town that existed before the government come in and took the land away. And so this old logging road, they would use it for collecting timber, for the mines, for melting down the iron ore and the hematite. But what is so important about that road, this is the same road last night that you guys had at least two objects, creatures, beasts that paralleled the group we were in last night.
Yes, sir.
And immediately I go back to 1993, and this is where these beasts that were walking on two legs, this is the same road that was used to come into our camp. And over and over and over, the local researchers that are here, they constantly run across these beasts. They see the shadow people, they run across the Bigfoot. It just goes hand in hand with every person. You know, the name Bob. Bob sees something. All of a sudden, Mitchum comes along and he sees almost in the same area what Bob has seen, but yet Bob and Mitchum have never met and live in different states.
Yeah.
Bob doesn't do social media, never tells his story, but he might tell, his pastor at the church. The other guy never heard of it, but yet he sees and describes almost the very same thing in the same area.
This place is definitely got a whole different feel than any place we've ever been.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, walking through there with you and seeing your reactions and everything was very enlightening.
Yeah.
You could tell that just something happened there to you, but you were still very, very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Last night was a milestone for me. While I had been to the immediate areas and I forced myself to go back over the years, you get a lot of mixed emotions from living through an incident like that where you're attacked by creatures that are not supposed to exist. But last night was a milestone because I went in with you guys, and I knew I was protected, not only by you guys, but each and every one of you carry strong religious conviction in God. When we went in last night, I had mixed emotions. First was fear, but when I got to the site and I realized that, just like in '93, God was with us all. Yeah. And it was His grace and His grace alone that I walked away from that attack, and His grace that carried with all of the team members last night when we were in those woods.
Yes, sir. I agree with that.
And what the public does not know is right there where we were at and where I was attacked in '93, only as recently as 2 weeks ago, with some of these men have been in there and they saw the shadow creatures, and Mark had found bones, but what is inside there, and with what Mike has seen, down in that creek bed, just like a coyote will dig a den, down in that creek bed, they've went in there, these beasts, and they have dug out up underneath these tree roots, and it is such a dangerous place when you go in there because you cannot get out of it. You've got to climb out.
Yeah.
You can walk in, but once you walk in, you're going to be climbing 6 to 8 foot over rocks
Oh yeah, I believe.
to crawl and pull yourself out of there. So it's a killing funnel,
Yeah.
and that's why they significantly they have found the bones. Now I have found bison bones. I have found bison heads, the bones of a very large mule. I found mule. I
Oh, wow.
found bovine cow, pig. We have found. We do not know if it is connected or because it's so much. There's a lot of Indian mounds right there.
Yeah.
We have found what we know were human bones, and so it's just a layer per se of like a lion's den. This is a layer of whatever these beasts eat and ingest.
Wow.
And one of the boys yesterday, I'm sorry, one of the men, because y'all are all men.
Well, I've
but
been called boys. I feel
one of the boys. It makes us feel good. We're still young.
That's it.
So one of the boys showed me yesterday where they'd found rib cages that not just gnawed on, but they were broken,
Yeah.
requiring thump.
Yes, sir.
So they broke and they were sucking the marrow out of these bones. So unless there's some humans in here that's real hungry, what is doing that?
Yeah, I agree with you. I really do. And you can feel it. I mean, you feel as soon as you go through the gates up there, you feel like you're being watched.
Yes, yes.
And it's the strangest thing I've ever seen. Because I mean, we've been in the woods and felt being watched before, but then nothing like here.
Yeah.
And I as much time as you spend here, I've never seen anybody have such a knowledgeable place that you do.
Thank you.
I mean, you found 400 graves so far?
There are over 400 graveyards here. Now, we have 228 or so, and every once in a while they'll add another one to the official registry. But I have walked in over 400, over a period of almost 4 decades, I have walked in 400 different graveyards. Now, we're talking about slave graveyards, we're talking about our French cousins that came over here and fought in the Revolutionary War. So we have Revolutionary War graves. We have Adena mounds from that would date the Adena mound builders 10 and 12,000 years ago. What is really sad is the destruction of the real Americans, the Indians that lived here, and all of the monuments, the graves. When they came in the 60s and they used bulldozers here, a lot of these, per se, temple mounds, there was a serpent mound that was destroyed, but there were 4 mounds that aligned exactly where I was real naive, and all I was thinking about, all I could see was turkey feathers when I come in here. You know, we're all hunters.
Oh, yeah.
And so turkeys was right on the menu, man. I was really looking at. I didn't know that we had Indian mounds, and I certainly did not know that we had Indian mounds that were north, south, east, and west, in approximate to each other, and in alignment. And so, you know, we got Indian mounds. We have the workers that used to dig in the. This was a thriving community at one time, all over the land between the lakes. And they dug for iron ore. They dug for hematite. A lot of people don't realize that even gold was found here.
Oh, wow.
And that was kept real quiet. And actually, to my understanding, and where I've been educated by different people, historians, they shut that down real quick.
Oh, wow.
But subsequently, I find it really funny that when gold was found, that somewhere down the line, this park was taken.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
there's a lot of history, isn't it? I
How
hope I'm
big-
not talking your head off.
Oh, you're
brother.
doing a wonderful job. I'm
Thank
very much enjoying it.
Thank you.
How big area is this?
This is 170,000 acres, but when you see in some of my books, I say 177. We have 170,000 acres that's here, and it's 40 plus miles from end to end, 325 miles plus of shoreline. We get the extra 7,000, depending on water going up and down. There's about 7,000 acres of islands
Okay.
that goes with the 170 plus.